what is poppin', people? We are back with yet another Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon news video. Trailer just dropped. Crazy information as usual. You already know who it is because you already know whose channel you're on. It is Shofu, and we are here to discuss the trailer and all the information that came with it. We have some good juicy tidbits today, people. First, but most certainly not worst, okay, Silvally, the evolution of type Null, was shown to us and we were given a ton of information about it. And I want to point out that its ability, RKS system, sounds exactly like Arceus. See, that's how you actually say Arceus. We all call him Arceus because it sounds a little better to us, but his name is actually pronounced Arceus. Arceus, 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 Arceus. He's definitely supposed to be some kind of Arceus clone, and it's pretty obvious by the sound of his ability, because the sound of his ability sounds just like Arceus, and it does the same thing that Arceus does. Okay? Now let's read about Silvally, because this Pokemon looks super sick to me. I don't know. I might have to make this the channel mascot. Young Goose is cool and all, but you know what I'm saying? Silvally is looking kind of clean right now. I think he looks really, really cool. So he definitely has some kind of cat head. Okay, so that's what was underneath the helmet. He has a water type. I mean, the Pokemon is exactly the same except for the head. The helmet's off, so that's the evolved form. The evolved form of this Pokemon isn't truly an evolution. It's just him taking off his helmet. Okay? And I guess that like unlocks his potential. It unlocks his speed. It unlocks everything that's good about him. When Type Null gains a partner it can trust, it deliberately destroys the restraining device it wears. Once released from that heavy mask, the Pokemon's speed increases substantially. Freed of the restraining effects of its mask, Silvally's senses are heightened, and it reverts to its natural temperament. It has a wild nature, but it will obey a trainer that it trusts. And to protect that trainer from danger, it will put its own life on the line. Silvally is said to have been created to oppose a threat. Woo-hoo! Now, I don't know if Arceus was the threat, or I don't know if they needed a Pokemon like Arceus because there was a threat coming, and Arceus wasn't readily available. But either way, that is crazy. They straight up tried to clone Arceus. That's blasphemy, man. Arceus is the god Pokemon. They tried to make another god Pokemon and gave it an ability that has the exact same effect as Arceus, man. By inserting exclusive items into the drive on Silvally's head, its Arceus system can be activated, causing Silvally's somatic cells to mutate and glow. The Arceus system enables it to change its type, and its cells glow with different colors of light depending on its type. Sounds just like Arceus. You give Arceus a plate, it changes to that color so you know what typing it is. Crazy. Silvally's ability is called the Arceus System ability, which no previous Pokemon has ever had. You don't say! You're just gonna sit here and lie to me? Like there ain't a Pokemon with this exact same ability out there? That's crazy! I know exactly what an Arceus is. You can't just say that like I don't know. That's crazy. By having Silvally hold items that correspond to each Pokemon type, it can change its own type. Multi-attack is a move that only Silvally can learn, and this move's type changes based on which type-related item Silvally is holding, just like Judgment. It has a move that's just like Judgment, and I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this Pokemon is going to be a weaker version of Arceus. It's pretty much exactly the same, right? So I'm gonna assume that it can learn moves of different typings, and that it can I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that it's a weaker version of Arceus because I don't think they're gonna put a Pokemon as strong as Arceus in the game just for us to catch and stuff. So I don't know. I feel like it'll be a version of Arceus that has like lesser base stats, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be a really fast and strong Pokemon and having like little weaker defenses or something. I don't know. We'll see. It's just pretty crazy to me that it's just so similar to Arceus, and it even has the same ability. And the name of the ability refers back to Arceus. That's crazy, man. That is insanity. This is probably going to be one of my favorite Pokemon this generation. I love the design. I love the way it looks. I love its ability. I love everything about it so far. Anyways, moving on. Kommo-O's evolution. We actually got the evolution line. We learned about this when we saw the Coral leaks. Dragon and fighting. I can't freaking believe it. It's finally here. I've been waiting for this for at least... I don't know. When did 4th Gen come out? Like 2008? Since at least 2008. It's been 8 years since I wanted a dragon in fighting type. Let's go! When a Kommo-O evolves into a Hakamo-o, it breaks from its fellows and begins to live on its own to train itself. Wherever it can find Pokemon to battle against, it seems to appear. Oh, that boy's running up. That's what that means. Hakamo-o dances before battle to show its strength. Oh, that boy definitely learns Dragon Dance. Let's go! Or Swords Dance. I'll take either one. I'll take either one. Clanging its scales together to make them ring out. When this dance reaches its climax, Hakamo-o bellows a fierce war cry to challenge its opponent. No, I'm playing. Its scales make for a fine armor, so Hakamo-o doesn't worry about self-defense as it makes multitudes of strikes and overwhelms its opponents. So it probably has high defense, just by listening to that, because it has like some really crazy looking scales. So I'm gonna assume the Pokemon has high defense. You know what? I'm gonna assume that, okay, he's a fighting type and a dragon type, so I'm gonna assume that his attack is gonna be sky high, and he has these scales on him, so I'm gonna assume his defense is also decent. But I'm hoping that doesn't mean his speed is bad. I'm really hoping that doesn't mean his speed is bad, because a lot of you guys were just being so ridiculous in the last video, man. Some of you guys were saying that just because he's dragon and fighting and he has a ton of weaknesses means that he's not gonna be a good Pokemon. No. You people must not play competitive Pokemon. He has two of the best offensive typings in the entire game together. Stab on both of them. Okay? So that alone count, like, that logic is terrible. You guys got to throw away the weakness thing out of your minds. The weaknesses are not what make a Pokemon bad, okay? It's not at all. Their moveset and their stats is what makes them bad. That's what makes Pokemon bad. Like, look at Tyranitar, for example. Tyranitar is weak to at least 10 typings. I don't even know. I could be wrong. It could be more or less. But either way, Tyranitar has a crap ton of weaknesses. But he's always been one of the best Pokemon in the entire standard battling scene because of his moves. He gets a ton of moves. His stats are amazing. His ability is amazing. So you guys got to throw that out of your mind. Heatran, okay, another Pokemon with a ton of weaknesses. One of the best Pokemon in the game. Scizor. Scizor doesn't really have that many weaknesses, but you know, whatever. What's another Pokemon? All the dragon Pokemon that are weak to ice, man, and rock. Like, there's a ton of Pokemon that have terrible typing defensively, but are still threats because their offensive typing is so good. If I get a Dragoness with Hakamo-o and I can sweep your entire team, what the hell do I care about a weakness for? I'm not even gonna get hit. I'm gonna kill all your entire team before you can do anything to me. You see what I'm saying? So you guys gotta get that out of your mind. The weaknesses are not what make a Pokemon bad. What they can do to another person's team is what makes them bad, okay? Or good. So a Pokemon like, what's a good example? I'll go back to Tyranitar. Tyranitar is weak to a ton of things. 4 times weak to fighting. He's weak to bug, grass, water, all kinds of things, man. But Tyranitar can take a hit. He can Dragon Dance. He can run a Choice Band. He can curse. He can do all kinds of things. That is one of the best Pokemon in the entire game. That's not an Uber Pokemon. Okay, so you're not gonna tell me that just because this Pokemon has a lot of weaknesses doesn't mean that he's not gonna be a threat. This is gonna be one of my favorite Pokemon, and he's definitely gonna be on my team. Straight up. Anyways, its scales make for a fine armor, so Hakamo-o doesn't worry about self-defense as it makes multitudes of strikes and overwhelms its opponents. But as a result, its scales often become damaged and get torn off. They grow back immediately, so this does not cause Hakamo-o undue concern. In fact, it views the number of lost scales as proof of how ferociously it has fought, and it brandishes its bared arms in a boast of victory. So it loses its scales. Maybe there'll be an item that's made out of Jangmo-o scales, right? Because I don't know, I could see something like, I don't know, I could see like it's buying something that has to do with like Hakamo-o scales being torn off or something, and they grow back immediately. That's pretty cool. Anyways, what we all came here for, Kommo-o, the final evolution of Jangmo-o. This is the Pokemon that I'm gonna be walking around with, chilling. This is gonna be my freaking boy right here. Now let's read about this monster, because I already know this Pokemon is gonna be super strong. Just look at him. He ain't playing. At the end of its harsh training, Hakamo-o evolves into this overwhelmingly powerful form. Yes! Overwhelmingly powerful? Are you reading this? Overwhelmingly powerful. I told you. Who cares about his damn weaknesses? What does a weakness matter? If I just kill you in one hit, you can't even hit me. What the hell do I care about a weakness? It returns to the land of its birth, where it watches over the Jangmo-o from a distance. There is a legend that says Kommo-o is covered in glittering scales in order to drive away a great darkness covering the world. The reason these Pokemon seek out battle is to gain the power needed to defeat this darkness. When it detects someone approaching, this Pokemon rings the scales on its tail to announce its presence. It has no desire to battle against weak Pokemon. This is gonna be one of my favorite Pokemon for sure. Kommo-o's greatest move is the uppercut. It swings its arms up from below in a punch of great skill and force, sending its foe flying into the sky. By raising its arms aloft, it can generate a force powerful enough to change the face of the surrounding landscape? Oh, no, 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 no. Don't let me get in my zone. Oh, no, this is disgusting. This Pokemon's going to be way too strong. I hope he has some kind of speed. He looks like he could be fast. Okay, he's slim and slender, and he has long legs and long arms. I'm hoping this Pokemon has some kind of passable speed stat so that if I use Dragon Dance, I'm just in there. If I get a Dragon Dance up, I am tearing something down. Something's coming with me, all right? This Pokemon needs to have Dragon Dance at least. He either needs to have Dragon Dance or he needs to be fast enough to make use of Swords Dance or just, you know, his attack stat in general. That's what I want. I really hope this Pokemon is some kind of fast because we already know he's really strong. Clanging Scales is a move that only Kommo-O can learn. It scrapes the scales covering its body against one another, attacking with a great clamor. After using this move, Kommo-O's defense is lowered. Really? What typing is that? Is it a fighting move? Wow, that's crazy. It uses a move that lowers its defense. It must be really strong. Or really like, it's either really strong or really consistently, or does really consistent damage. You know, maybe like a base 100 move that, I don't know. I'm very interested in this Pokemon though. This is probably going to be one of my favorite Pokemon. I need this Pokemon on my team. This is one of the only Pokemon that's guaranteed to be on my team in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Let's go. I'm super excited about this Pokemon. You guys aren't about to say that it's bad just because it has 6 weaknesses or whatever. Crazy, crazy. Next up, we have Ribombee, the evolution of Cutiefly, the Pokemon that I actually didn't care about at all, but I actually like this design. I like this Pokemon a little bit. This is going to be a bug and fairy type with the ability Honey Gather and Shield Dust. This is kind of like the Butterfree of the region, I'd assume, but it doesn't seem to evolve again. It seems like it just evolves once. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Ribombee collect flower nectar and pollen to make into balls known as pollen puffs. These serve as food, and what's more, they can also cause effects like paralysis or dizziness. Ribombee may use puffs to strike their opponents during battles. Some of the pollen puffs that Ribombee make also have relaxing effects or can relieve tiredness. They are distributed around the Alola region as high-priced supplements. Ribombee hate getting rained on. They're covered with fluffy hairs that hold the pollen they've gathered, and the rain makes them wet and dirty. Alolan people know that if Ribombee are busily visiting the fields of flowers, you can be sure that the fair weather will continue. Okay, so still sounds pretty useless. Let me stop hating on this Pokemon, because I actually like this one. I didn't like Cutiefly, I didn't really care about it, but this Pokemon looks cool. I like it. It's pretty cute. Okay, let me just move on before I Now this is a Pokemon that I want to talk, okay, not this one specifically, but the next one, the evolution of this Pokemon is the one I really want to talk about. Okay, so we have Steenee here. Just going to be a pure grass type. Leaf Guard and Oblivious are the abilities. The calyx on Steenee's head is harder than Bounsweet's, so Steenee no longer worries about being stabbed by other Pokemon. As Bounsweet, this Pokemon may have preferred to run away from others, but now Steenee and other Pokemon can play together. Upon evolving, this Pokemon's fragrance becomes even more delectable, but it also gains a tomboy-like personality. Living together with one is quite the ordeal. As it moves around, it spins its calyx, striking nearby objects, but Steenee couldn't care less. That's crazy. Damn. Just gonna fucking knock everything over, man? Amazing, amazing. Steenee unleashes combo moves using the calyx on its head and hard legs. First, it smacks opponents with the calyx on its head, and when the opponent flinches, it lands a whacking great kick. That usually does the trick. Now let's talk about this Pokemon. First of all, this Pokemon looking kind of nice, you know what I'm saying? If she's a Pokemon, I'm a Pokemon, what's up? Anyways, Tsarenna, okay? This Pokemon right here has a very, very cool ability that we have never seen before, obviously, because no other Pokemon in this game has it already, aka, you know what? Let me just stop, all right? Because once we get to that ability, you're gonna know exactly what I mean by that. Tsarenna has the nature of high-class nobility, okay? Any Pokemon or human that approaches it with evil in mind will be punished forthwith. Okay, what? Alright. It even turns its fearsome glare upon its own trainer if the two of them are not fully in sync, or if its trainer orders it to use a move that will be ineffective. Only the strongest of Steenee are able to evolve. When this happens, the Steenee evolves with the blessing of other Steenee. It then uses its strength to protect the Bounsweet. Tsarenna is a high-kicking virtuoso. It has honed these skills beyond the level it achieved as a Steenee, and it attacks with graceful movements. At the same time, its fragrance mesmerizes its opponents, dealing with them a secondary attack. Trop Kick is a move that only Tsarenna can learn. It lowers an opponent's attack by showering it with blazing hot kicks in a style similar to that originating from tropical countries. It said that this Pokemon loses its strength if touched on the crown-like protuberance on its head. Some Tsarenna have the Queenly Majesty ability, which no other Pokemon has previously had. The effects of Queenly Majesty are so intimidating that it prevents opponents from using priority moves. So that's what I meant earlier. They're saying that no Pokemon has had this ability, but there's already a Pokemon with this ability in the game somewhere else. Bruxish has this ability. I don't know if they're going to be exactly the same, but they sound exactly the same, you know what I'm saying? So Queenly Majesty and Dazzling sound like they're the exact same ability with different names. So I don't know why they say no Pokemon has previously had this ability when there's another ability that does the exact same thing. This is like the third time I've seen this. Like, what are you talking about? Just because the names are different doesn't mean what the ability does is different. It's the same thing, right? Or am I crazy? I don't know. Anyways, moving on, we have Alolan Grimer. We got some more info on Alolan Grimer and, you know, what's going on here. Apparently, the trash in the Alola region is really weird because all these Pokemon eating it just completely changed. Like, what's up with the Alolan trash? Is there something going on? Are the people in Alola just straight up evil, so their trash just has all this dark aura around it, and when Pokemon eat it, they turn into dark types? Like, what's going on? I need answers. When the population of the Alola region increased, dealing with their garbage became a serious problem. As a solution, Grimer were imported from other regions. They fed primarily on garbage, so their body composition changed, as did their form. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So the population of Alola increased. They needed to deal with the garbage, so these Grimer pretty much only ate garbage instead of just other things as well as garbage. I see. But why did that make them dark type though? Why does garbage equal dark? Like, what? I don't get it. Whatever. What appear to be teeth in this Pokemon's mouth are in fact residual toxins from the garbage it eats, which have hardened and crystallized. No method has been discovered to break down these crystals. Direct contact with them presents a danger. Alolan Grimer is always eating garbage, but its constant hunger will cause it to begin eating other manufactured objects if it runs out of garbage to feed on. There are more than 100 Alolan Grimer in Alola's garbage processing plants, and all of the garbage produced in the Alola region is taken for use as their food. Alright. On to the next one, Alolan Muk. This boy looking like a cup of rainbow sherbet. What's poppin'? I'm trying to get a scoop, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get me a scoop. Haagen-Dazs. Alolan Muk eats whatever is in reach without pausing, and if it feels the sharp pangs of hunger, it runs amok. I see what you did there. That is amazing. Pokemon with the puns. It's thought that its voracious appetite stems from an inability to maintain its energy levels without constant influx of toxins. Toxins have accumulated in Alolan Muk's body from its steady diet of various waste products and manufactured materials. This accumulation has brought about a chemical change, producing a new kind of toxin. Alolan Muk has the same poisonous crystals as Alolan Grimer, but they're not limited to its mouth. They extend from all over the surface of its body. Alolan Muk uses them to attack, just like other Pokemon use their fangs or claws. These highly toxic crystals are easily knocked loose, making them extraordinarily dangerous. The Grimer and Muk in the Alola region produce and store their toxins within their bodies. So, unlike the Grimer and Muk in other regions, you won't detect any unpleasant aromas when you draw near one. Okay. I'm still trying to get a scoop. What's up? Next! Okay, this is gonna be my favorite part. Okay, we have a new trial captain. We learned about him before. He's gonna be the normal type trial captain, apparently. An exported normal type Pokemon. I said export. An expert in normal type Pokemon, excuse me. Captain Ilima graduated from the trainer school and is a hero to the students of that school. So my boy's chilling. He got some normal type Pokemon. He's probably gonna be the first trainer we run into. Probably. I'm still gonna blow him away. It's easy. What's up? And then next up, Olivia looking kind of nice. Okay, she kind of looking like what's the girl name? Ikumi from Food Wars. Okay, this is gonna be my waifu. None of you are gonna stop me. Come stop me, come get me, come stop me. You can't, okay? You cannot stop me. Olivia is the kahuna of Akala Island, the second island you visit on your island challenge. Her skill is extraordinary, as can only be expected from someone chosen to serve as kahuna at such a young age. Yet she still insists that she is just the normal girl. She's lying. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. This video has been super long. I'm going crazy. I'm way too excited. Demo in 4 days. Check back. We're going all the way through the demo, all day, every day. It's time. What's up? Okay. Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And we'll be back with another video on the 18th when we get some more news. It's time.